Inside one of these boxes might be a card worth $250,000. That is 100% true. I am Seth Mates, joined by the legend himself, Geoff Pontes. It is Topps Chrome Update 2024 release day, and we're about to rip one of these boxes. And who knows, there's a lot of good stuff in there. We might find that one of those debut patches that go for big money.
Yeah.
Geoff, you're a prospect expert. You're a collectibles guy. What are you most excited about in this release?
I think it has to be the debut patches. Just the idea of hitting on one of the big ones. You know, we talked a little bit about it off air, Skeens and Ellie, somebody like that. And the value of, one of those cards is remarkable. But really any debut patch that you could get from one of these boxes, I think is a reason to get excited and spin around in the chair here if we do end up pulling one today.
At minimum, it's a mortgage payment. Best case scenario, it's a whole house. So why don't we get to it? I'm going to leave it up to you here. We have a whole case here. We're not going to open the whole case on camera, although if we get anything good in the ones we don't open on camera, we'll certainly share it. Which box are we opening today, Geoff? You pick.
All right, we're going to go with the Judge Ball side.
Okay.
1, 2, 3 down. Let's open up that box.
Okay.
I want to make it hard,
as difficult as possible, so that my entire set will collapse.
Exactly.
On me, so.
That was the goal.
Let's get going here. I'm already shaking the camera here. I'm excited right here. So Geoff, you're a big time collector. What's your PC look like?
Yeah, I have like funny stuff that was all valuable when I was a kid that now isn't valuable because all these guys got busted for steroids. So I got a lot of Clemens. I got a lot of Barry Bonds. I have a lot of Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire. My primary PC, though, is Nolan Ryan. I have pretty much everything but his rookie card with the Mets, which is just a little more expensive than I'm willing to spend at this point in time. Maybe one day. But yeah, behind me, I got some autographs. I got some Nolan Ryan cards back there. That's probably my number one guy, but it's a lot of like 80s, 90s type of players. And then I like the Bowman draft.
Well, that's around the corner soon too. And stay tuned to baseballamerica.com and subscribe now. Get all of our top 10s. Do your research, because come early December when that comes out, we can help you get a lot of value out of that set. Anyway, I'm ready to rip, and I will tell you that if we hit a debut patch, first thing we're going to be buying is a Nolan Ryan rookie card for Geoff Pontes. So these are the jumbo boxes. So if nothing else, we're guaranteed 3 autographs out of here. That's if nothing else. So we're going to just kind of go through these, and we'll look at these first. We got Margot Rodriguez, Tyler Rogers, Kyle Manzardo. Already got a Jackson Holiday, 5 cards in, not too shabby.
Little rookie card.
Yeah, I'll take that. And we got a Jackson Merrill, 6 cards in. Yeah. I might have been miscounting that, but
got the debut down the bottom.
I'm sorry?
I said, and it has the debut date down the bottom.
Yes. And we've got some fun stuff coming up here.
Neat colorway on these cards too.
I think it's not a debut patch, but I think there's a 1-of-1 coming up in our very first pack. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
We'll get to that in a second. So we got Jackson Merrill. We got Colt Keith, another
rookie
decent
card.
Rookie.
Yeah, pretty good one.
We got an all-etch rookie rush. Brewer, and that looks like Jackson Churio to me.
Churio. Ooh, that's a pretty card. Look at that one.
So first pack, we've got Colt Keith, Jackson Merrill, Jackson Holiday, Jackson Churio.
We tripled up on the Jacksons. We checked all the Jackson boxes.
And this next card, that looks like a printing plate to me.
Is that what that is?
That's a printing plate, which means that's probably a 1-of-1.
All right, let's check it out.
So we'll see who we got here.
This pack is
Kyle Harrison autographed printing plate.
That's a nice card. There we go.
Kyle Harrison autographed printing plate. That is indeed a 1-of-1.
All right.
So it's not exactly a debut patch, but oh my gosh, this is the Cyan Kyle Harrison printing plate, rookie card, autograph, and that's in the first freaking pack.
Great hit. Yeah, this has been a great pack. In terms of someone who rips packs a couple times a year, buys a couple boxes with my youngest son, who's of my 3 kids, the one that's most into the hobby. And yeah, I mean, that's like, we had some nice hits. I mean, some of them were obviously, your standard cards there with the first 2 Jacksons and Colt Keith, but that was a good looking Churio, and then you pull the Harrison, which is probably worth a pretty penny.
I'm gonna sleeve up the Churio also, because I'm already running out of room on the stage here. We still have 11 packs left. I want to point out to everybody that, again, we didn't get these packs through Baseball America. I ordered these as just a commoner, plebeian nobody, which is how I like to think of myself. And this is the first pack. I will happily take it.
There we go.
And that's just so far, the stage already. And we're not even done with this pack yet. How about a little Pete Crow Armstrong on the Future Stars?
Not bad.
And then our last one is a refractor of Tyler Rogers. We are already off to the races, my friend. This is
yeah, nice start. Let's hope we can top it.
Seth's gonna
honestly, if the next 3 packs combined pull that kind of stuff, I'd be happy.
Yes.
Cool.
Tyler Black, one of my favorite images from this whole set.
Yeah, that's a great image.
Yep. Adam Ottavino, Brian Ramos, Austin Hayes, Simeon Woods Richardson, who I picked up in most of my fantasy leagues and helped me out in a big way. Thanks to Geoff Pontes and Dylan White, heads up on him. So thank you. Jeff is the master fantasy writer. Appreciate that. You won me some money this year. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try, but another nice rookie card.
Uwasawa.
One more time.
Uwasawa.
Uwasawa.
I don't even know if he's with the Red Sox any longer. Yeah.
I should have been able to figure that out.
I got to Japan last year, bounced around. The Rays released him, and yeah. I don't know. He may end up back in Japan.
I'm going to set him aside. We got Marcelo Zuna, Brett Harris, a refractor of Garrett Crochet.
An all-star game. It was a cool card.
Yep. How about the I always forget what this is called, the X-ray card of Luis Arraez. That's another nice hit. And we got a Davis Wenzel on the refractor. I'm going to sleeve this one up too. I don't usually sleeve stuff.
Nice hit.
I keep interrupting you, Geoff. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, not at all. I'm saying that's a decent hit.
Do you collect the more modern stuff also, Geoff, or mostly just PC, the older stuff?
Yeah. I'll do some Topps Chrome stuff. I'll do, like I said, mostly Bowman draft. Like if I'm going to go buy packs, I'll get some Bowman first stuff. That sort of thing. Like Bowman Chrome. So sort of, the Topps Chrome products. I guess they're all Fanatics products now. That tends to be what I go after. If I'm going to invest in cards like now, like modern stuff, I'm going to try to buy more high value sets.
Sure.
So that way the rookie cards and stuff that I do pull, which is mostly what I'm going for, is just trying to collect all the different prospects that I cover. Just have them collected. And then my youngest son is really into certain players. So there's a lot of PC hunting and then just random pack ripping when we go to a Walmart or a Target and he sees a box and wants one. But got our first Paul Skeens.
I will take it. I normally wouldn't sleeve up a base card, but it's more than just your average base card.
Yeah, there's certain rookies who you got to do it. If they got Hall of Fame upside, you gotta put those in the plastic.
So as I'm going to go through the packs here, but as we record this, Geoff, the National League Rookie of the Year has not been announced yet, but they have announced the finalists: Churio, Skeens, and Merrill. I'm going to go through the pack. I might interrupt you if something happens. You'll hear me squeal. But where do you stand on the 3 in terms of who will win Rookie of the Year, who deserves to be Rookie of the Year, and who has the most upside?
Yeah, I think Churio probably has the most upside. Skeens is so close to already being the best pitcher in the game that I think it's tough to say upside with him. I think he deserves the Rookie of the Year. Skeens, as great of a season as Merrill had, I just think when you look at Skeens, he was arguably the best pitcher in baseball in the second half of the season. So for me, I think he has to be I am BBWAA. I don't have a vote in Rookie of the Year this year, but if I did, I would be voting for Skeens in the NL side of things.
Yeah, I agree that I think he was the guy that kind of lit it up this year. And again, I'm the guy at Baseball America who makes this content look pretty. I'm not even close to Geoff and JJ and what a lot of these other guys can do. But it seems to me like I would vote for Skeens also. Nice Wyatt Langford hit there. It seems to me that Jackson Merrill might be the guy who gets the love for the actual award this year.
It's possible. I think, if you put into perspective like clutch hits and some of that stuff, I think he had some really big moments for that Padres team and exceeded expectations, right? Like I think that's part of it too, is Skeens is sort of a victim of being so highly touted.
We have a case hit coming up here, so I'm going to skip
Here we go.
ahead very slightly.
do it.
Here. I'm going to put that down there. We also got our second autograph here, Alex Verdugo, number 250. We'll take that. We got another monster pack here. Let me sleeve this one up. You can tell, Geoff, that when I was a kid, especially with baseball cards, and even now, that I'm a kid in a candy shop. I can't hold a thought in my head, and I just get overly excited with all of it. We'll put Verdugo here. So that's our second hit. We also have the 89 throwback of Nolan Arenado. I love the 89 throwbacks. Brings me right back.
Yeah, one of my favorite designs of any set.
Absolute classic. So we got those there. And then our case hit here is Stratospheric Stars, and we got former Baseball America #1 prospect Adley Rutschman on this one.
Yeah.
These are our super short print. Believe that there's about one in a case. It might even be rarer than that, but
are they numbered?
I'm rapidly running out of room here. And for someone like big, meaty hands like me, if I start knocking around the microphone or the lighting, I apologize in advance. We are running out of room here. We still have 8 more packs. We're not even halfway through this box. We still have at least one more autograph. And if there's justice in the world, we still have at least one debut patch. So we'll go through these a little bit faster now. I don't know how much better this box could get, but I would love to find out. We've got some cool refractors in here also. We got our first Elliots from the All-Star game.
Well, All-Star game action. It's a good-looking card.
Nice refractor. We got a Josh Jung Future Stars and a Tyler Black.
Yeah, Josh Young, not bad.
Yeah. Did I pronounce his name wrong? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's Young, like Carl Jung, So it's a J, but said like a Y.
Exactly like Carl Jung. I have never ordered a case. Again, I ordered this first for my personal collection. I've never ordered a case of cards before in my entire life. Been saving for a while, knowing that this is going to be a big one. And, one case in, we're doing pretty well. We're unboxing, we're doing pretty well so far. Yeah,
it's exciting. And just having that many cards to rip, you're gonna I always feel like I'm a little emotional after I don't have any more cards to open though. It's like you get so used to it and the rush of it, and then it just goes away. Yeah, like it's far too expensive for me to experience that again.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it's exactly right. I'm gonna need to downer. I see a purple card here, so we got something numbered coming up. It looks like it might be a red. What's that?
And a little cousin Sal Frelick at the top.
There you go. So let me ask you this. So this set has so many big rookies. It's got Elliott, it's got Skeens, it's got Holiday, it's got Churio, it's got Merrill, it's got all these guys here. Are there any under the radar players in this set, or any under the radar players that are coming up in Bowman Draft or maybe in Topps next year that we should know about?
Yeah, I think one is number one. I think any Sasaki cards you can get your hands on, go out and get those. I was smart and I did that with Ohtani. I bought into a ton of different breaks with the Angels. So I have like 5 or 6 like Bowman first Ohtani rookie cards. I bought some other special ones from Topps, etc., like debuts, etc. I think those are ones to go after. Zaire Hope is one that does not have a card yet. So I would imagine he'll probably be in this draft set, or if not, one of the Bowman releases during the season. I would guess, just based on where his helium is after a really strong AFL, great underlying data, he's an awesome player to buy in on. And that's kind of like one of the things that I will do. If I really believe in a player and like maybe they're a little bit underrated in comparison to sort of how the market views them. Like I did this with Corbin Carroll. I did it with Gunnar Henderson, did it with Roman Anthony a couple years ago. Just sort of like the year before those guys break out and then become top 10 prospects in the game. Trying to find those sort of guys and maybe placing some bets. And you can get some cheap autos out there from a lot of those guys too, depending upon what the set is. And there's enough of like those top prospects, top picks that have been released. You can do something with it. So anyway.
Absolutely.
What do we got here?
Again, baseballamerica.com. I've started going through the top 10 list, and the top 100 list for fantasy and for baseball cards. And it's the secret weapon. It's the best resource that you never even thought about, maybe, but it's phenomenal. These guys do
like
great.
Playing the futures market,
Exactly. So we just pulled an Ellie debut card. It's base, but it's still an Ellie rookie. And I was wrong, actually. It wasn't the Reds. It was the Twins on the purple. Louis Varland at a 250.
Okay.
We take that. Do you ever watch breaks online, Geoff, or do you ever go to collectible shows or anything like that, or is your appetite more the mainstream variety?
Yeah, I haven't been to a collectible show probably since I was a kid. Used to go to them pretty regularly back in like the 90s. At the local church or whatever, my grandmother's church, there usually be somebody there signing some autographs, and then you can go and buy some cards. Mostly for me, it's like online shopping on eBay. I have a player or a card I want. I go and try to find it, and I'll bid on it and see if I can land it, and then just like a lot of pack ripping with my son. But I'm not like super invested in the hobby in terms of watching a lot of hobby content. I mean, I read a lot of the stuff that's on our site. When I was with Prospect Live, I read a lot of Joe Lowry, who does some really good work as well. But I think primarily it's kind of like I know about the players and I kind of know what I want. So it's more about like, collecting to have, some interesting cards that eventually, once I get some shelves set up in this room, can start putting some of these cards on display,
I know what you mean. I've been talking to my wife about getting a bigger office for a while, just so I have a place to keep my stuff. And we don't use the word stuff usually, but this is a family-friendly broadcast. Another 89 throwback of Andrew McCutcheon. I love this card, the designs. We have 4 packs left from this box. I don't know what else we could possibly get. We still have an autograph left. We got our Skeens debut here, as you may have seen a moment ago. We've already hit a 1-of-1 printing plate. We've had a bunch of numbered cards. We've got an X-ray card. We've got Skeens. We've got Ellie. Who knows what else we get here? Let me try to make sure these are nice and clear.
Giolito and McCann seem to be the cards that are stuffing packs, the commons that are stuffing packs. You've seen a few of those already.
It's the it's the Phil Lombardozzi that we used to get back in the 80s.
Yeah, right. There's always that one guy where you're like, I have way too many of this person. Bring back
Rosarena
in a Mariners uniform, Kettle Marte All-Star.
Hey,
Junior Caminero, future stars, was one of the few players who ranked #1 overall on our top 100 list in season this year. One of the best young power prospects in the game. So that's an interesting one, and one that could trend up in the next couple of years as well as he continues to
I was going to say, Junior. I'm sorry that I step over you. I'm a kid in the candy shop, and I'm sorry. But I was going to say, based off of what you were saying here, I don't think Junior is exactly a secret in the hobby, but he did have some injuries this year, and he's been up, and his upside, he's still worth investing in.
Yeah, I think so, and especially as young as he is, anybody who's getting to the big leagues at like 20, 21 years old, I think is worth investing in, just because there's some runway for their career to really take off, right? That's what we're looking for. Nolan Shannon will debut there, right?
Yep. Speaking of guys who maybe haven't started the way that perhaps they would want to start, whether it be injury or stats, 2 of the other big names that people are looking for, obviously Jackson Holliday and also Jason Dominguez. Yep. How should collectors feel about those guys and their upside, and whether they're worth doubling down on in releases like this?
Yeah, that was a great looking Gunnar Henderson. Oh, nice hit on Machado.
Yep.
I think with both of them, Dominguez obviously hasn't gotten as much run. We've seen Dominguez be really good in the big league. I think, both of them are still worth probably investing in. I think the market itself is probably a little softer for Holiday, and it should be at this point, just because I think there's some questions about the impact and all that. That being said, he was still so young, only one full professional season prior to getting up to the big leagues. There were a lot of expectations. So, I think that's all part of it, where, you sort of have to take the good with the bad and expect that there are going to be guys that do struggle. And I think the jump from AAA to the majors is probably greater than it's ever been. So there's some adjusting that needs to happen. I mean, he wouldn't be the first guy to struggle in his rookie year and then be really good there on out.
Yeah, that's interesting. We got a couple of interesting ones coming up here. We got a Reds player on some kind of a purple. And first we'll look at the all etch of Cody Bellinger. But we have a red autograph, Jacob. Help me with this name, Geoff, please. Hurtabisi?
I think it's Hurtabisi, yes.
Hurtabisi. Well, it's numbered to 299, and it's a pretty card. And I plan to go to baseballamerica.com later today, because I know JJ Cooper covers the Reds for us, and I guarantee he's got something in there about the guy.
Well, and I would say that it's a topical card as well, as it was Veterans Day yesterday, and Herdebisi was actually a guy who played at Army. So he went to the military academy. He was drafted out of the military academy. Was able to sign on with the Reds, and I think just delay his service. But yeah, he attended Army.
Wow. Well, we thank him for his service, and we'll happily take it. This is our last pack of this box. So we will do a quick recap here in a second. We'll see what we get here. I will remind everyone that we're kind of following along all day to see who gets the big patches and what's pulled today, the debut patches, etc. I've still got 7 more boxes here, so we're not going to put them all on YouTube, but I will happily make the sacrifice. I will happily make the sacrifice for Baseball America and open these, Geoff, and kind of see what we get here. But so stay tuned. But let's go for some last pack magic here. So how about a Shota rookie card?
Not bad.
Shota out of here. I think we raise a great point about Sasaki, and especially because he hasn't had any cards domestically really yet. I think that's going to be a huge one, coming up here. It'd be interesting to see who he signs with. Do you have a gut feeling on that?
Yeah, I think it's the Dodgers. I think the secondary one that's lurking back there is the Padres. It's a West Coast team. He has a very close relationship with Yu Darvish. He trains with him in the offseason. And I think it would be so fun to have Ohtani and Yamamoto versus Darvish and Sasaki in that rivalry that's already so hot between the Padres and the Dodgers. It's reminiscent of the early 2000s, Red Sox and Yankees. And I think from a the good of the game sort of situation, I think him going to the Padres is probably the most interesting scenario that doesn't then piss off baseball fans. That being said, if he ends up with the Dodgers, super teams are fun. Super teams are fun to hate. So I don't think that hurts the narrative either, especially if somebody can beat the Dodgers next year with Sasaki. I think those are the 2 big teams, but I think everybody's in play. I mean, and we've heard some rumors where he wants to go to a place where there's good pitching development, maybe a smaller market. Unlikely, but can you imagine if he ends up in like Cleveland and that team just gets a little bit better? I mean, a really competitive, good setup. That would be a lot of fun too. And we never thought Ohtani would end up with the Angels. It was the Mariners and the Dodgers and the Rangers and the Giants and the Cubs were kind of the teams that were rumored. And then, he goes and signs with the Angels. So stranger things have happened than, him ending up someplace besides LA.
The dark horse team that you guys discussed earlier this week for Sasaki was the Pirates. And I can't even imagine a rotation of Skeens and Sasaki. Oh my, that would be.
Yeah, and Jones and Bubba Chandler. I mean, really exciting young arms.
Yes, exactly.
Go back to the Mets.
What's that?
It could be. Go back to the Mets with Harvey and Syndergaard and, Wheeler and all those guys.
At this point with Mets ownership, if they sign Soto and Sasaki, I would not be surprised. We'll see what happens. But we have a little last pack magic here because we have the Samad Taylor refractor, but whatever this is, it looks kind of interesting. So we'll just do one more dramatic reveal. It's a Marlin. Emmanuel Rivera at a 175. Not terrible. We take it. So, Geoff, I think you might be good luck on a lot of this stuff because this is quite the box here. Let me kind of get this together here. We'll do kind of our little proverbial recap. Not even to mention the Holiday and the Merrill and the other ones we pulled from the first pack before I was sleeving.
Yeah, stuff. That pack was incredible.
But even before that, we've got some great stuff. Pack. So this is kind of the best hits once we started sleeving stuff. We've got a Junior Caminero Future Stars, Verdugo autograph to 150, Skeens rookie card, Ellie rookie card from the All-Star game, Louis Varland out of 250, Skeens debut card, Emmanuel Rivera out of 175, Ellie rookie debut card, Jason Dominguez rookie debut card, Jacob Herdebisi auto out of 299. Again, thank you for your service, sir. Shota Imanaga rookie debut card, Wyatt Langford Future Stars card, all etch rookie rush of Jackson Churio. I think these are called X-rays. I always forget. Maybe they're called negative. Whatever. It's
I like X-ray. I think X-ray might be what it is.
Let's do that. I love it. All right, we have Luis Ariz, and then we have our 2 big hits, the Stratospheric Stars of Adley Rushman, and our 1-of-1 autographed printing plate, Kyle Harrison rookie card.
Yeah, that's a pretty great hit. I'm very interested to find out what that's worth.
Daddy's going to eat tonight, Geoff.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. So anyway.
Is it heavier? Is it heavier?
No, it has rounded edges. Most of the cards don't, but no, it's just like the rest of the cards. It's exactly the same.
Huh.
Would have never even known it was there. That was first pack magic this time. We did all right.
Yeah, it was first pack magic.
Geoff, you're welcome to join us anytime if you're going to keep bringing this kind of luck and stuff like that. Any final thoughts or advice or words of wisdom for any of us?
I'm hoping you pull a patch. Keep me updated as you open up the rest of those boxes today. You got a fun afternoon and evening ahead of you.
You will hear me screaming from 300 miles away before I even message you on Slack. Geoff, thank you for your time. Appreciate you always. He's Geoff Pontes. I'm Seth Mates. Have a great day. We'll keep you updated. BaseballAmerica.com.